It's the beginning of the week and everyone's getting their mock drafts out, which means it's time for Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft and I'm mocking, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. And today we're looking at Kyle Krabs from the Draft Network. I can't stop doing the Draft Network mock drafts. They keep giving me banger thumbnails, so I'm going to keep doing them. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know so, and the voices sounded a wee bit better. But go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comments section below. I love having that nice, beautiful football discourse with y'all. If you haven't checked it out already, I'm pushing out my mid-season prospect rankings. I did defensive interior earlier today, so go check that out. But let's go ahead and take a look at what Kyle Krabs has in store with for us. This is based on the current draft order going into Monday night, so they don't take into account the Monday night game. So this is the current NFL draft order. Starting with the Carolina Panthers, no brainer. CJ Stroud. For some people, he's number one. I get it, size. For some teams, size matters. So he's probably going to be number one for a lot of people over Bryce Young. But the Panthers, blow it up. Blow it up. Next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders going Will Anderson, and I'm on board with this. Take the best player on the board. Even if you feel like, hey, man, you got a good pair there in Chandler Jones, Max Crosby. You can never have enough pass rush. Ask the Buffalo Bills. Getting those guys in fresh. They have probably the most feared pass rush in the league, and it's a variety of different guys from like Von Miller to Boogie Basham to Gregory Rousseau. So adding Will Anderson to that just makes it all the more scary. Next, we got the Detroit Lions going with Will Levis. So, yeah, I think Lions fans are now past this thing where it's like, hey, you know what? Maybe we could go Jared Goff. Forget that. Just take who you deem the best quarterback on the board and then worry about your defense through free agency and address it with the rest of the draft. Just go ahead and get your quarterback. Will Levis, I'm still a bit hesitant on Will Levis as a top 10 pick. I see him more as this maybe like mid to late first round, even early second in some regards. Just there's other guys I'd be looking for, like Bryce Young still on the board here. I'd go him. DJ Uiagalelei, I'm a big fan of. Even Tanner McKee, I think, has been having a really good year. So, right position. Just not my cup of tea at quarterback and Will Levis. But I think Will Levis, like, coming from an NFL-style system, has an NFL arm. He's going to be a solid quarterback. I feel better about it in the middle to late first round area. And then the Houston Texans, they get Bryce Young, my boy. Man, people want to sour on Bryce Young. Really, all they got is size. His size won't look. He's beat up now. He's hurt now. He's never been hurt his whole career. This man knows how to typically knows how to protect himself. In that Tennessee game, he had to hang in the pocket and eat some hits. But, I mean, he was a large part that team was even competitive with Tennessee. He brought Bama back down 3 scores to make that game competitive. Like, right now, Bryce Young is Alabama. So, Houston Texans, you'd be getting a hell of a quarterback. Philadelphia Eagles are next on the clock via the New Orleans Saints. They take Myles Murphy. I like this. To me, Myles Murphy's is a specimen. Deserves to be a top 10 pick. Derek Barnett, they're gonna move on from that guy. You talk about Brandon Graham's on an expiring contract, but also he's another guy that's up there in dog years. We really got Sweat and Reddick. So, yeah, added more to the defensive line, mainly at the edge rusher position, just for the future, I think it is wise, especially when the value's there. No Jalen Carter just yet, by the way. Houston Texans, they go with Jordan Addison over Jalen Carter. Oh, please explain. Unfortunately, Jordan Addison did get hurt this week, but wide receiver one's really open on the table for guys like Quentin Johnston. There's going to be cases for Kayshon Boutte, who just had his best game of the season. Jackson Smith-Njigba's been banged up, but I get grabbing more firepower there, but like, I don't know, man. If I'm the Texans, I think you don't pass on Jalen Carter. You have no one on that interior, and at least no one really long term on that defensive line in general. But this allows the Pittsburgh Steelers to snag Jalen Carter, pairing him up with Cam Hayward. They don't really have a guy outside of Hayward. TJ Watt's out there on the edge. Highsmith, I think Highsmith showed some stuff. Like he showed at the beginning of the year when they had a healthy TJ Watt. So like edge isn't out of the question here really either. Obviously corner could be on the board here, but Jalen Carter, arguably he's up there with Willie Anderson in terms of being the best non-quarterback prospect in this class. And then the Arizona Cardinals are going, Jackson Smith-Njigba. I disagree mightily. They need wide receiver help. No, they need a new coach. Hopefully, maybe they could get Ken Dorsey. I don't know. Right now, get Cliff Kingsbury out of there. Keely Ringo, you got a very attractive, physically daunting, athletically amazing Keely Ringo there. You're taking that. Or even the top edge talent. I'm not taking a wide receiver in a slot nonetheless. Like that's kind of Rondale Moore's cup of tea, you know. He's a guy that really operates out of the slot. I don't know if this is even best available. I think it's arguably that like I wasn't that high going into the season on it. Jackson Smith-Njigba. He was top 15. He was in the like 15 to 16 area for me, so I'm not in love with it. Jacksonville Jaguars are going Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern. Straight up, just grab the best offensive line talent. Really, Cam Robinson? He's whatever. He's fine, I guess. Like Juwan Taylor's on the final year of his contract, unless they slap him. Well, no, they can't slap him with the 5th-year option because he was a second rounder. So, like, I don't know. I like the idea of this. You get a guy that's very versatile. Remember, he was recruited as a center. He's got ideal guard size, but he's played tackle the last 3 years, and he's been probably the best tackle in the nation this year. The Chicago Bears continue to, they start bringing in some help for Justin Fields, and that starts with Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones is playing good football this year as well. Don't know if he gets into that top 10 hunt. Typically we see at least a couple of tackles go in the top 10. And I think we will see some this year. Like it's an interesting class, not like the classes we've seen the past couple of years that had some like great builds, high upside, great length. But Jones kind of falls into that category. So getting him, I mean, like honestly, I don't think like Braxton Jones I think has been very nice this year, a pleasant surprise. Obviously you feel like if you could upgrade from that, then go for it. But Larry Borum, I guess he's a cat you can move into guard. So it's like a lot's on the table. Just whatever this pick is, it should be for Justin Fields. Then the Washington Commanders are going Cam Smith. You could argue quarterback here. I also like corner. Sounds like they're shopping. William Jackson. Corner. I think corner is actually a good bet here. The new coaching staff really, I imagine, is going to be in toast pretty soon there for the Commanders. Cam Smith's real nice. I feel better about him at the back end of the first round. He's been all right this season. He got a bit slowed by the concussion. Had to miss the Georgia game, but he's been all right. I kind of lean Joey Porter, even Christian Gonzalez. So those are two guys I really like, but I like the idea of adding a corner here if you don't feel good about any of the quarterbacks. And then the Seattle Seahawks go Keely Ringo. This is their first pick, by the way. Seahawks are just playing really good football. Can you imagine pairing him next to Tyreek Woolen, who's played very nice this year? Even Kobe Bryant's been pretty solid for them. But obviously, cornerback is a volatile position. You want to stack that bad boy with as much talent as possible. So I don't mind that if you get a shot to, in my in my opinion, get the best corner on the board, go do that. I like that. Like, we know the defense needs a little bit more there for the Seahawks. The Atlanta Falcons go Gervin Dexter out of Florida over Brian Brazee. Ooh, that's a bit interesting. But fine nonetheless. Gervin Dexter's having a heck of a year. He's got a versatile body type, plays with a high motor. Pairing him up next to Grady Jarrett, it's just scary. Really is. And then this is the Seattle Seahawks pick via the Denver Broncos. Remember, they are this draft order is based off before the Monday night game. Matter of fact, the Monday night game just went into OT, so I'm kind of curious who's winning, who won. Oh, the Chargers won. So okay, even better. The Broncos you'll probably have a big better draft pick here if you're the Seahawks, right? At least right now at this point. So yeah, they hit a field goal in overtime to win it. Oh, good for y'all, Chargers, avoiding the scare there. But they go Tyree Wilson, a guy that I'm coming around to. I kind of like him in this back in the end of the first round. He's got desirable length, good athleticism for a guy that at his size, like 275, 280, moves very well. Can play on that 3-4 defense. Just gives you a versatile body type. Pretty explosive for his size. Again, I go back to my concern in the Liberty Bowl where anytime he was matched up against Charles Cross, he was taking the L. But looks like the production's there for this dude. He's up there in pressures this season. So Tyree Wilson, when we get to my midseason edge rankings, expect to see his name on there. Even though I was probably a bit skeptical going into the season on him. But yeah, I like that. Seahawks, I guess with Geno's play, you don't have to go quarterback. And you can kind of settle maybe for someone who falls maybe in day 2 if you want to develop somebody. It's not off the table, though. It's not off the table. Cincinnati Bengals go Trenton Simpson. First linebacker off the board. This guy's so great out in space. So you would be pairing him along with Logan Wilson. I guess Jermaine Pratt is a free agent after this season. I could be wrong about that. So, I mean, hey, if you really like Simpson, go get him. It's hard to get good linebackers in the NFL nowadays. So, like Simpson, he kind of fits the mold of what they really want nowadays. And then the New England Patriots are going Joey Porter out there at corner. Receiver could be an option. Again, with how volatile the cornerback position is, you do want to just stuff that bad boy with talent. Getting Porter, honestly, you could move Jonathan Jones back into slot where it's probably where he's best at, but he's been playing all right on the outside. Jack Jones has been looking really good on the outside as a rookie. Like, outside of probably like Tyreek Woolen and Sauce Gardner, Jack Jones is up there in terms of like rookie corners. Like, wow, he's played really good football. And the Green Bay Packers, we know they ain't dressing receivers, so they go Michael Mayer. Robert Tonyan is a free agent after the season. Michael Mayer, top tight end on the board, so I like that. That's a good pick. Then we got the Miami Dolphins going with Brian Branch, safety. Hello. Let's see. Okay. So I guess this is interesting because you imagine, like, if we're having Branch here, he'd probably be playing a similar role as to, oh gosh, what's his name? Oh no. Javon Holland. Bam, got it. Knew it would come to me. I was like, there's no way I forgot this. I mean, they got Nick Needham, who's typically their slot guy, having to play on the outside, or he was until since Byron Jones was on the pup. But Needham is more of a slot guy. He's actually a solid slot guy. Like, Branch gives you a variety of different things that you can use him for. Even have him come in because he's such a good tackler. Probably like be a better Brandon Jones. So I don't know, man. I kind of like that. I don't mind that. Just get good players. Tampa Bay Buccaneers go Cameron Ward. Oh, this is interesting. Cameron Ward, I really think comes back to school. I get it. Tom Brady, grab the heir apparent if you don't feel like it's Kyle Trask. Cameron Ward, though, is very raw in a lot of departments. Playing his first season of Power 5 football. There's been some ups. There's been some downs. So, like, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I really think we're going to be talking about him in the 2024 class. I really do. But Tampa Bay, they could go corner here. They could go the pass rush hasn't been all that great. Like, there's a bevy of different ways they can go, and it kind of, I guess, hinges on what Tom Brady wants to do after the season. The Baltimore Ravens go Christian Gonzalez. He's actually a great scheme fit. You pair him up with Peters, who really probably not in the long-term plans after a few seasons. Marlon Humphrey, who's just very versatile, can play outside, play slot. And then you get Christian Gonzalez, a guy who could just play on the outside and be very, very good in a press scheme. So, like, I really like him for this defense. Him going here. Detroit Lions going with Brian Brazee. So they do need help really in the defense everywhere, but especially along the defensive line, mainly the interior. Levi Wozarike is going to miss the season, but he's kind of been a dud. You got Liam McNeil, but he's just kind of your standard nose tackle. So getting a little juice in the middle there, I think, goes a long way. And it is just great value. Indianapolis Colts, they go with Isaiah Foskey out Notre Dame. This is a guy with a high ceiling. A high ceiling, but also a high floor if he doesn't reach that ceiling. He's got ideal length, moves very well for his size, and a very good run defender. They got Yannick there. They got Kwity Paye, but Yannick, I think, his deal's up after this season. So, and I mean, Deo Ogunigbo. I don't know if if he's played much as of yet. Guy that they drafted the same year as Kwity Paye in the second. Keep in mind he was coming off the ACL tear. But I don't know how he's done, but I mean the pass rush hasn't been good in Indy. So yeah, do that, especially if with Gus Bradley's scheme, he is one of the lowest blitzing coaches in the league. So it's like you got to be able to get it done with your front four. So go and make sure that front four is good. And then the Chargers go Paris Johnson. This is just a great pickup. They need someone at the right tackle spot, in my opinion. Rashawn Slater did go down. But yeah, just grabbing more help for Herbert at this point. Like, you could go defensive interior if there's anyone you like, because the run defense hasn't been all that great. The middle's been kind of spongy for the Chargers. Cornerback helps, never the wrong answer. So a lot of different areas, but Paris Johnson's really good value. Tennessee Titans go with Jalen Duncan out of Maryland. I get why people like Duncan, man. He's got an ideal NFL build. He's long. He can move. For me, he's still that day two type of guy. But the Titans, listen, engine to the offense is Derrick Henry, which means everything around that engine, being the offensive line, needs to be spick and span, and they have really struggled at the tackle position after Taylor Lewan went down, especially even before he went down. So they grabbed Duncan here, not a bad option. Antonio Johnson going to the Jets. Yes, they could use some safety help. He would come in and be like, play like that LaMarcus Joyner role. I like that. A guy that has who played a lot in the slot in 2021. This year played a more traditional safety role. Him and Brian Branch, to me, 1A, 1B, best safety duo. Best safeties in college football. And then the Dallas Cowboys taking Bijan Robinson. I love this. I've talked with y'all about this pick in the comments. Because some of y'all suggested it, and I ended up doing that in one of my mock drafts. Because if you think about it, Tony Pollard hits free agency this year. You really hate Zeke's contract. Don't know if they can get out of that this year. But being able to replace one of, if not both of those guys with Bijan is a stellar pick. You keep the man in Texas, so I love that. I love it. And the New York Giants go John Michael Schmitz. Might be the best center of football if you didn't know, or at least in college football. Yeah, I like that, man. I get it. The run game has been a big component to the Giants this year, and it has allowed Daniel Jones to kind of like play mistake-free football. Like, they don't put him in a lot of situations where he can turn over the football. So making sure the offensive line is like top notch, not bad. They really don't have anyone there at the center position. What they've been playing, Feliciano, but I think he's better at guard. So yeah, John Michael Schmitz. Like, why not? Like, the dude's like ready to start now. Could have came out last year. Probably should have. Kansas City Chiefs go Jahmyr Gibbs. I love Jahmyr Gibbs, but man, come on. Like, you don't need to do this if you're the Chiefs. Like, it's one thing, maybe you want to talk me into receiver for the Chiefs. That's fine. You're not going to ever talk me into running back, especially for a team that the running back position's not all that important. Really, like, Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's been doing fine. Isaiah Pacheco's been doing pretty well. So it's like, why? Like, why? Clyde Edwards-Hilaire, he's entering a contract year. I don't care. Replace him with someone on day 2 or day 3. Like, you could address the defense, get some more help at the pass rush. Like, they've made some strides, but the pass rush in terms of the defensive line is still something I would say needs to be attended to. So yeah. Minnesota Vikings go Darnell Washington, Georgia tight end. Man, I get it. This cat is kind of a freak at his size. It's just like, you shouldn't be able to move that way for a tight end. And what, he's like 270, something like that. I still think about him in the day 2 area. I think there's just better picks you can have here, like whether it's receiver, whether it's maybe you do want to go on the offensive interior, though. I think the offensive line's been playing pretty well. You could add more cornerback depth. That's always a great answer. Like, I just think there's other areas to go that are more valuable. And then the Buffalo Bills go Henry To'oTo'o. I don't mind taking the best player off the board. This might be one of the best players off the board. Tremaine Edmonds, I mean, they can move on from him. The safety could be this pick. Really, this Bills pick, you can do no wrong. Really, you can do no wrong. You could go a variety in different spots. This is one of the better rosters, I would say, in football. Honestly, you get Henry To'oTo'o, who's actually an excellent blitzing linebacker as well. So I kind of like that. And then the Philadelphia Eagles, this is the final pick because the Dolphins kind of gave away their pick. So they forfeited it, but they go Jordan Battle. So I like that. Like, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is on a contract year unless they decide to re-sign him. Marcus Epps has been playing good football. They do have Anthony Harris somewhere around there, right? Whether it's on the practice squad or on the active roster. But getting Jordan Battle, man, I don't know if he's exactly a good scheme fit, because I prefer to see Jordan Battle in a situation where he's playing more man coverage, which really isn't Jonathan Gannon's scheme. But a lot of teams play these 3 safety sets, so if they want to go with that, go with it. I'm trying to think of other areas. I mean, in all honesty, if he's the best player on your board, then go ahead, snag him. Like, you could go corner. There's a couple of guys here, like Clark Phillips. There's a couple of these like early or probably like second rounders, like Emmanuel Forbes. We could talk about Garrett Williams, Devin Witherspoon. There's a couple of guys I'd be interested in here. So yeah, it's kind of whatever. I don't mind the position like he goes with. I just don't think Battle's a good fit per se, but I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.